Hi guys, welcome to Stack Reframe. So in the previous videos, we have seen many different types of selectors, isn't it? Now today, let us quickly go back and let us quickly learn about two selectors today. First one is general sibling selector and second one is adjacent sibling selector. Okay, these two selectors are also important and let us quickly look into these two selectors. These two selectors are very easy and important as well. Okay, so let me first talk about this general sibling selector. Okay, by the name you understand, general sibling. Okay, so what happens? Let me just quickly give you a theory part of this general sibling selector and then we'll give you the syntax of this and then we'll give the example. So you will get it very easily. Okay. So first of all, let us talk about general sibling selector. So in general sibling selector, what happens? This allows you to select the element that are sibling of a particular element, okay, regardless of their position in the HTML structure. Okay. So if you are getting this, that is fine. If you are not getting, you will get it when I'll give the example. Okay. Now, first of all, the general sibling selector, how it is represented, isn't it? We have seen many types of selectors which have some special representation, isn't it? So similarly here, the general sibling selectors is represented by the tilde operator. This one, this is the operator. Yeah, if I zoom it, you see this is the general sibling selector symbol. If you are seeing any symbol like this, that simply means it is a general sibling selector. Okay. Now, let me just give you the syntax of the general sibling selector. So the syntax of general sibling selector is, maybe if I'm taking two elements and if I'm using general sibling selector between those two, so I will take element 1 and then I will give general sibling selector symbol and then I will use element 2. Okay, after that I will use curly braces and here I will pass all the CSS properties. Okay, so this is the basic syntax of a general sibling selector where element 1 will be there and element 2 will be there, and here in between this general sibling selector symbol will be there. Now what it will do, it will just select the element that are sibling of a particular element. If this element is the one, it will select all the siblings. I'll just give you example, just understand here. Okay, so let me just quickly go here and let me just quickly give you an example. For the time being, just see what happens. I'll just take one division. Okay, and here I will just take, for example, I'm taking one h2 tag and here I'm writing, maybe this is heading 1. Maybe I'm writing, let me write, this is heading 1. Okay, let me just make it caps. Okay, and here after that I'll just try to write maybe one p tag and I will write here, this is para 1. Okay, same I'll just do again and I'll write same thing, this is para 2. Okay, so I have taken one division. Again what I'll do, I'll again take one h2 tag and I will write here, this is heading 2, and let me just copy this two p tags here and I'll write here and I'll just change it, this is para 3 and this is para 4. Okay, just for the time being, just I'm taking any example. You see, I've taken one h2 tag and here I've written two p tags, again one h2 tag and again taking two pads. Okay, similar like this. Let me go live and let me show you how this is looking. So this is looking like this, isn't it? Let me zoom this a little bit. So this is looking like this. Okay, this is heading 1 and this is heading 2 and here we have two p tags. Okay, this is simply very simple. Now see what happens, why I should use general sibling selector. Now what happens if I write like this? Let me just go to here and use internal CSS, and if I write like this, maybe if I'm writing h2, okay, then I'm using general sibling selector and then I'm writing p. Okay, then I'm using this curly braces and here I will pass some CSS property. Maybe if I'm writing here color is equal to, maybe if I'm writing blue. Okay, now what happens? What you will get the output? See the output here. You see, if I'm writing this paragraph too, both is coming color in blue. Now here this para 3 also and para 4 also is coming in color too. Why this happened? Now let us see here. as I already said that in general sibling selector, it allows you to select the elements that are sibling of a particular element. So I am writing here one selector here. I am writing general sibling selector like H2, then general sibling selector symbol, then P. Now what happens here? It will select all the P's which are general siblings of H2. Okay, so whatever p's, how many, if you have 4 p's also, all the p's will get selected which are after this H2, which are general siblings to the H2. For example, if I'm writing here again P and I'm writing here something stack reframe. Okay, so again you see this will also become blue in color. Why? Because general sibling selector simply says that it will select all those P here which are just general sibling of this H2. Okay, this is what general sibling selector means. Okay, am I clear? Now, one thing more to note that here, if you are writing some P here, maybe if I'm taking a P here at the top of the H2, okay, and I'm writing here normal thing. This para is before H2 tag. Okay, now you see I am writing H2, then general sibling selector, then P. So is it getting selected? No, it is not, isn't it? Why? Because it will only select after. Why? Because it is general sibling selector. It will select all the P's which comes after the H2, which comes always after the H2, not before the H2. Okay, this is why this one is not getting selected. Okay, so this is all about this general sibling selector. Okay, now I hope you do not have any confusion in this video about the general sibling selector. And if you have any questions, you can ask me in the comment section. Okay. Now let me just quickly, I hope you understand this. Now let me just quickly go to this adjacent sibling selector. Now I'll take the same example here. Okay, so that you do not get confused. What is this? Now what adjacent sibling selector do? The word you just understand. It was general sibling selector. That is why it is selecting all the P's, all the general P's. How many P's are there? It will select all. Okay. Now, when it comes to adjacent sibling selector, what it will do? So in the adjacent sibling selector, it allows you to select an element that directly follows the another specific element. Only that directly follows the another specific element. Okay, that simply means I'll just take this example. I'll just say, first of all, let me just show you what is the symbol of using adjacent sibling selector. So if you are using adjacent sibling selector, you will use this plus operator symbol. Okay, and let me just write the syntax here so that you do not get confused. So the syntax of using the adjacent sibling selector is, let me, for element 1, if we have 2 elements, then we will take first element 1, then I'll use plus operator, then I'll use element 2. Okay, and then after I'll use the curly braces, and here I will pass the CSS properties. Okay, now what it will do, it will allow you to select an element that directly follows the another specific element. Okay, directly follows the another specific element. Now you see here, same example, let us take the same example here. And what I will do, I'll just use this one. Okay, now see, instead of writing this, there is same thing, H2 and P is there. So if I'm just changing the symbol, you see, I'm writing here like this. That's all. Instead of writing this general sibling selector, you see, again, I'm going to see, currently it is general sibling selector, isn't it? So let me show you the output. It is the color of the blue is given to all the P's, isn't it? It is general sibling selector that is selecting all the P's. Now you see here, I'm just changing the symbol. I'm writing here plus operator. Now what happens? It is changed to adjacent sibling selector. Why? Because I've used the symbol plus operator. And now what it does, it will select an element that directly follows the another specific element. For example, if I'm writing H2 plus P, then it will select only the P which is just directly follows this particular H2 tag. That means this one is the H2 tag. This is the heading that we have taken. After this H2, this is only the first P, isn't it? Which directly follows the next specific element. So this one is the direct, this P, this is para one. This para one is uh, is directly followed by this H2, isn't it? Now here also, this is H2, and this para 3 is again is next to this particular H2 tag. That is why only this para 1 and this para 3 is getting selected. Okay, you see here only this one and this one will get selected. Why? Because this P is directly followed by this H2, isn't it? This P is also just next to this H2. That is why this is called adjacent sibling selector. The one who is adjacent, exactly adjacent to this H2 tag. Why? Because we have used H2 tag, isn't it? So it will select only that P which is exactly adjacent to this particular H2 tag. Okay. So if we consider, you see this for this H2 tag, this is only P which is directly adjacent to this H2, isn't it? And for this H2, this is only the P which is directly adjacent to this H2. That is why only this one and this one is getting selected and the CSS property has been applied here. Okay, so this is all about general sibling selector and adjacent sibling selector. Okay, so that is all for today in this video, and we will meet in the next video. Okay, so that is all for this class today. Thank you.